everyone, Miss Lezlee here to read with you today Goldilocks and the Three Bears. This is retold by Bonnie Dobkin, she's the author, and illustrated by Rajesh Tanwar. In this story, you're going to meet Goldilocks. She's very curious. That means she wonders about things that she doesn't know about yet. And also, you're going to hear about some characters who get worried about things that could go wrong. Let's find out what Goldilocks is all about. Once there was a little girl with a bright, happy smile and long, curly blonde hair. Everyone called her Goldilocks. Goldilocks lived in a cottage by the edge of the woods. Always curious, she wondered what was in those woods. May I go for a walk in the forest? She asked her parents one day. No, said her mother. The woods are too big. You might get lost. No, said her father. The woods can be dangerous. You might get hurt. They're worried about things that could go wrong with her daughter going for a walk all alone in the woods. Let's find out. Promise us you won't go into the woods, her parents said together. I promise, said Goldilocks. One day, though, the sun was shining. The air felt fresh and cool, and the branches of the trees seemed to be waving at her. Goldilocks thought about her promise. I probably shouldn't go in those woods, she said, but she did. Now, deep in the woods, there was another cottage, and in this cottage lived 3 bears. Papa Bear was a great big bear with a great big voice. He liked to fix things around the house, and he loved to cook. Mama Bear was a medium-sized bear with a soft, sweet voice. She liked to work in the yard, and she loved to sing. Baby Bear was a very small bear with a thin, squeaky voice. He liked to do whatever his parents were doing. One morning, Papa Bear made a big pot of delicious porridge. Porridge is like hot cereal. He filled 3 bowls to the very top. First, he filled a great big bowl. Then he filled a medium-sized bowl. And finally, he filled a very small bowl with pictures of honeybees on it. The porridge looks wonderful, said Mama Bear. The porridge smells wonderful, said Baby Bear. The porridge is wonderful, said Papa Bear. Eat up! Yow! Cried Baby Bear. The porridge is too hot. He's right, said Mama Bear, looking at Papa. Well then, said Papa Bear, why don't we go for a walk until the porridge cools? Hooray! Said Baby Bear, fanning his tongue, and they set off in the woods. Just as the bears left for their walk, someone came running out of the forest. It was Goldilocks. Oh, why didn't I listen to my parents? She said. Now I'm lost. I don't know which way to go. She sounds worried, too. What might happen? Then Goldilocks saw a cottage, and always curious, she wondered who lived there. She knocked on the door. Hello, she said, is anyone home? Of course, no one was, and as she kept knocking, the door swung open. I probably shouldn't go in there, she said, but she did. First thing she saw was a cozy living room. It was a fireplace, and there were 3 chairs made of wood. One was a great big chair with a tall back and thin arms. One was a medium-sized chair. It glowed in the light and had soft, fluffy cushions. And one was a very small chair with butterflies painted on it. Goldilocks suddenly realized that her feet hurt. Oh, this isn't my house, she said. I'm probably shouldn't sit in those chairs, she said. But she did. First, she sat in the great big chair. The scratchy wood left splinters in her bottom. Ouch, she said. This chair's too rough. Next, Goldilocks sat in the medium-sized chair. The chair was so slippery she slid right off. Whoops, she said. This chair's too smooth. Finally, she sat in the very small chair. Sighed Goldilocks. This one is just right. Crash! Oh no, the chair broke to pieces. Oh no, said Goldilocks. Ah, look what I've done. I have to leave. But then she smelled a wonderful smell. Always curious, she followed the smell to the doorway of the kitchen. On a table in the kitchen, Goldilocks saw the 3 bowls. The wonderful smell was coming from them. Suddenly, Goldilocks realized she was very hungry. I probably shouldn't taste what's in those bowls, said Goldilocks. But she did. First, she tasted the porridge in the great big bowl. Ow! She cried. This porridge is too hot. Next, she tasted the porridge in the medium-sized bowl. Ew, she said. This porridge is too cold. Finally, she tasted the porridge in the very small bowl. It wasn't too hot, and it wasn't too cold. It was just right. Yum, said Goldilocks, and she ate it all up. Now, Goldilocks saw a stairway leading up to another floor of the cottage. Always curious, she wondered what was at the top of those stairs. I probably shouldn't go up there, she said. But she did. At the top of the stairs, Goldilocks saw 3 beds. One was a great big bed that was painted blue. One was a medium-sized bed that was painted red. And one was a very small bed with a blue and red frame. Suddenly, Goldilocks realized that she was feeling very sleepy. I probably shouldn't go sleep in those beds, she said. But she did. First, she tried the great big bed. Her head went down with a thunk. Irk! She said, that bed's too hard. Next, she tried the medium-sized bed. This time, she almost disappeared. She could barely breathe. Said Goldilocks. This bed's too soft. Finally, she tried the very small bed, and it wasn't too hard, and it wasn't too soft. You guessed it. It was just right. Ah, said Goldilocks, and she snuggled under the covers and fell fast asleep. A little while later, the 3 bears returned from their walk. They stopped in surprise when they saw the open door. Oh no, said Mama Bear. Someone has been in our house. Be careful, said Papa Bear. That someone could still be there. More worried people, worried bears. The 3 bears tiptoed into the living room. Someone's been sitting in my chair, grumbled Papa Bear. Someone's been sitting in my chair, gasped Mama Bear. Someone's been sitting in my chair, squeaked Baby Bear, and that someone broke it all to pieces. They hurried into the kitchen. Someone's been eating my porridge, roared Papa Bear. Someone's been eating my porridge, cried Mama Bear. Someone's been eating my porridge, squeaked Baby Bear, and that someone ate it all up. Now the bears rushed upstairs. Someone's been sleeping in my bed, growled Papa Bear. Someone's been sleeping in my bed, whispered Mama Bear. Someone's been sleeping in my bed, squeaked Baby Bear, and that someone is still there. Papa and Mama Bear rushed over next to Baby Bear. They looked at Goldilocks, then they looked at each other. Papa Bear let out a great big roar. Goldilocks woke up. First, she saw a very small bear with wide eyes. Next, she saw a medium-sized bear with a worried frown. Then she saw a great big bear with great big teeth and great big claws. Goldilocks shrieked. Goldilocks jumped out of bed, rushed across the bedroom, leapt down the stairs, ran through the kitchen, raced across the living room, and burst out the door. She ran and ran and ran until she saw her own cottage through the trees at the edge of the forest. Her mother and father were standing at the doorway. Goldilocks ran up to them. "We've been so worried," they cried, giving her a hug. "I'm sorry," said Goldilocks. I should have listened to you." "Well, at least you're safe," said her father. "Come in the house and I'll make you something to eat." The next day, Goldilocks sat out on her front step again. She could see the forest. The trees seemed to smile at her. "I probably shouldn't go into those woods again," said Goldilocks. "But—" That's the end of the story. But do you think she went back in the woods again? She was very curious. What do you think? Bye for now.